So, the big question at this point is, are you all just going to go to Center Point Station, which is where you and Merrill were looking at different places where there would be decent Imperial garrisons, but not like gigantic Imperial garrisons, and you come up with Center Point Station, which is a station that was originally built hundreds and centuries and centuries and centuries ago, like in the year 2500 BBY. Just, you know, every now and then these super aliens build stuff and then leave stuff behind, and they piss off, and nobody knows what happened to them. And Center Point Station basically looks like somebody put a giant contact sea capsule through a donut, and you know, it's an enormous station, and it's taken over, and nobody really owns it, and everybody sort of uses it like a free port. And it's in the Corellian system. It's between, I think it's at a what we would know as a Lagrange point between two of the planets of the Corellian system. But it is in the Corellian system, so you'll be up to your eyeballs in Corellians, also known as the happy fun guys of the galaxy. Anything you can do, they can do better.
When the individual houses aren't trying to assassinate each other.
That's alright, they're the best at that too.
That's right, nobody does it better. Makes you feel sad for the rest. Now the question ultimately though is, do you want to just do all of your shopping there, or do you want to go to a shadow port? And if you want to go to a shadow port, what is it that you want at the shadow port that you can't get at Center Point?
Well, according to you, nothing. Because the rarest thing I wanted to get was the
Armored clothing,
Armored
apparently,
clothing.
because the game seems to think that reinforcing a pair of choosers is a thing.
Well, it's meant to be hidden. That's the thing. It requires a perception check, so that's what you're buying.
I guess.
But whatever.
But hidden is as hidden does.
Exactly.
Alright, so, unless anybody has any objections,
Nope.
everybody's going to Center Point. On your way to lovely Center Point, Marrow goes back over the plan. Well, goes back over the plans. Alright, so the big one is we get Gand. We stick a little transmitter in Gand's ear. Sassoon has been kind enough to create a couple of little transmitters for Gand, one in case he breaks it or eats it. And with that in his ear, Salem, you're essentially going to listen to everything, and you're essentially going to do the speaking. And then between the two of you, I'm hoping that you will be able to wrestle away a paltry sum of money for an enormous amount of money and a fat chunk of Sinai Fleet System stock. I'm hoping that's how that'll work out. I'm hoping if we get just the right sort. Just the right sort. Of course, the big problem is that Gand is Gand. Gand isn't human, and the Empire likes to stick it to humans whenever they can. But past a certain point, you got to take a chance. Most of us are known, even at a casual glance of an Imperial database. It's not necessarily that we're criminals. Some of us are, some of us aren't. But
If we get face scanned in the wrong place, it's a problem.
we're known at the very least. The big problem is going to be if Buddy thinks that he can just impound the stock altogether. If that happens, we have to go to Plan B. And Plan B essentially involves activating the emergency isolation system in the office and locking Gand in the office with the Imperial Simple Serpent for a while.
We'll be performing an
And
extraction.
hoping that Gand's magnetism will cause the civil servant to rethink his position amid cries of "Help me!" and "I can't breathe." if that plan doesn't work, we're going to have to withdraw and figure something out. By then, we'll have lost the stock. There's no way around it. They'll have taken it from us. I don't have any better plans than that, except to try to dump the stock on the open market. But I don't know anybody who would just grab it because it's hot, and we'd end up dealing with actually worse people than the Empire. Because as long as the Empire doesn't think we're criminals, the worst they'll do to us is steal our stock. That's the worst they'll do.
And they're, while not nice to deal with, they're at least predictable.
And nothing is not predictable. I do not anticipate that this will be the kind of mission that will require a hasty getaway from. At least I hope not.
Is Gan been set up with any sort of grease money?
Having spoken to Gand, you don't know if it's a really good idea that he start greasing palms, because he has a very ephemeral grasp of money. He's the first time you handed him an Imperial script, he took a bite out of it. That's just Gand.
Gus?
Yeah.
Can do if I could do an underworld check to see if I have possibly have a contact or somebody that I might.
Oh, you know people. But it's like trying to fence the Hope Diamond. Like it would be the rough equivalent of trying to do that. So while you know people, you don't know anybody you trust with this. Because the Empire will take it away from you, and they have the power to say, yeah, we took your stock, what's up? Whereas the crime syndicates will take your stock away, and they'll find you floating in a garbage compactor someplace with several key pieces of your anatomy conspicuously absent. Maybe or maybe not nailed to various other parts of your body, depending on the proclivities of the people involved. I do believe you get the idea. But, it's not that you couldn't sell it elsewhere. It's that it's dangerous. And the most danger you're going to get from the Empire is that they steal your shit. Which is shitty, but not dangerous. It's like getting robbed of your lunch money without being punched in the eye first. Something else I want to remind you guys all of, because I haven't done a good job in making it quite clear to you, every game session, you are 1,000 credits richer. So every time we sit in. Yeah, because you do get paid. Whoever this mysterious foundation is, you're paid.
Well, you said we all had money at the end of the game. Each game. I think. You said that at the end of each game, that we would get a certain amount of money depending on what we accomplished, plus. But I assume... Yeah,
but the plus part is the part we can negotiate. The part that doesn't get negotiated is that every session...
Oh, okay.
Every session that happens, regardless of whether or not you're here, you get 1,000 credits. So there's been... This will be the 6th session.
That makes things infinitely easier.
Indeed.
So you guys do have some walk around money.
No.
Well, I've just spent a bunch of money and still have like 4,800 left. So I might pick up.
Except for Steven. Steven spent all his money on ale and hookers.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's kind.
unless they're Gamorreans.
No, you don't have to pay for those.
No, that's reverse. That's reverse prostitution. That's
Free of charge.
that's like the old joke about the acupuncture clinic where it costs money to it doesn't cost money to put the needles in. It costs to take them out.
Are we going to do obligation, or are we?
Oh yeah, right, obligation.
D100.
Yeah, let's see how that works out. Let's see who gets doinked this time. You can tell what kind of regard I hold this obligation in. You can just tell. Oh yeah, obligation. Right.
Well, what does it actually do?
If you're the lucky bugger and it lands on you, you take 2 strain.
Yeah.
Everybody else, if it lands on anybody, everybody takes 1 strain except for the person it lands on. who takes 2 strain. If it's doubles, like if it's double numbers, then you get 4 strain and everybody gets 2 strain.
Brutal.
So somebody generate a D100 check.
87.
87. These guys are all free and clear. The chart stops at 78. Well done, Craig. Well done, by the way. You see?
Hey, there he is.
Yeah.
Boy.
You're just in time to find out that the Dodgers the application bullet again.
Alright.
I vote that Craig always rolls our application.
Until I screw up, and then then it can go to somebody
Someone
else.
else's turn.
You've got a pretty good track record, though.
So far, so good.
It's dead. So as we have discussed. Now, I know you think you sent me a copy of your character sheet, but I have a funny feeling what you did is you replied to the email that got sent to you from Obsidian Portal. And if you did, then whatever happened to that character sheet, it went into the ether. Yes, you have
Very
to,
good.
yeah, those you have to pay attention to where the email's coming from. If it's coming from actually then yeah, sending me back the character sheet is a good idea. If not, because that's not your current up-to-date character sheet, and from what I can tell, your current up-to-date character sheet was never sent to me.
I did send it. It got it. So
It got it.
It went to the wrong. I probably sent the wrong thing.
Yeah, you replied to the Obsidian Portal email reply because I used a forum thread email out to remind everybody to send in character sheets. So, bad turtle for you. So, it has been decided that everyone's going to go and see the Imperial garrison at Center Point Station.
Yes.
And they're going to send you in. Salem's going to have an earpiece in your ear where he's essentially going to tell you what to say so that he can assist the negotiation check. What you're essentially trying to keep from happening here is you're trying to keep from the Empire going, that's lovely stock you have there, non-human. Yoink. If they decide to do that, you go to Plan B, which is Toby is working. He's hacked some of the emergency lockdown controls, where the office that you'll be in will go into a protective lockdown. The doors will come down, the blast doors will come down, the HVAC system will cease working, and it'll just be you and the officer and your charming personality
Excellent.
to perhaps convince him with a capital C that he should, that really,
Start with toes or fingers.
that basically
Your
what
choice.
basically what's going on is that you're offering him like 338 some odd $billion worth of Cyanar Fleet System stock for 1 million credits. That's it, just 1 million credits, and you're offering him, tens of thousands of stock in a like. So don't be an ass already, or I'll fart again, kind of thing. Meanwhile, the rest of you guys are sort of, well, not you. You're paying very close attention to this, and Marrow is gonna stay near you because the mind on the money and the money on the mind, as it were. Is that your phone that keeps doing that? Okay.
Yeah, I generally like my electronics to be a little bit quiet unless the phone part is actually ringing for my attention, then I want it loud and clear and phone-like.
Oh, there we go. So, any questions?
No.
No?
So that's the plan about what we're doing with Gand. Is there anything for the rest of us, or are we free and clear at liberty to do whatever the heck we want?
Well, you all have comm links, and if you didn't already have one and you weren't smart enough to steal one from the Imperials that you guys had over the barrel a few sessions back,
I thought we determined that, yeah, we were
Yeah,
going to leave them up
that's
their
it.
comm links.
Yeah. I kind of said you guys all have your comm links. Thank you very much.
It's good. I think the earpiece would be helpful. We're running more than one green die. Probably
Yeah, essentially what happens is that when you assist another in a check, as far as I can tell, you take your highest. You take the characteristic and the skill. You look at the two people that are enmeshed in the assistance check, and then you take the highest characteristic from one and the highest skill from the other, or reverse vice. Essentially, it's the best of both worlds. So between that and, between my recommendation that wherever possible you should shunt extra bonuses as boost dice off to Jesse so he can hit something in combat.
I hate everything in combat. Thank you.
What?
I hate everything in combat. Thank you. Somebody just doesn't know how to roll dice for me when I'm not here.
Okie dokie. So, Center Point Station might as well be its own planet, because as soon as you dump out of hyperspace into real space around that station, you are immediately buzzed, swarmed, almost run over. The station keeping traffic. They're sort of part droid, part snub fighter. That's sort of, it's kind of weird to see something that's part starfighter with two hands doing this with glowing paddles and stuff. So, but the traffic control system combined with droids and sentients that transmit where everybody should be and where and when they should be there, it all combines to keep there from being too terribly many mid-space collisions. Every now and then, there's somebody who doesn't pay attention to what he's told, and kaboom. But that's not you people. No, sir. Nor is it anybody you know. But just in case, you tuck in relatively tight to a giant Gozinti-class freighter, because chances are if anybody gets crazy, they'll hit the bigger one first. Here. This is Center Point Station, Center Point Control. Are you coming here to dock, or are you going to stay in an orbital station? What do you want to do? You better tell me. I haven't got a lot of time, sweetheart.
Docking, please.
Docking, excellent. Could you please indicate the size, class, and relative disposition of your vessel at this current time so that we may find you a decent docking berth?
Sure. Class 5. Size... whatever.
It's a Corellian consular class cruiser.
Corellian Consular.
Oh, a Corellian consular? We don't see many of those around here. Oh, it's a pretty red one, too. That's nice. Okay, well, if you'd slide yourself into berth Bash 662-5, that's on our ventral side. Just follow the blinky light, sweetheart.
Thank you. Control. And we follow directions and...
Mara looks over, she sure is friendly.
And I look over, sweetheart.
I got a funny feeling she'd have called you sweetheart, so don't take it too personal. Oh, what's the matter? Y'all never been called sweetheart before?
Hey, sweetheart's world's better than Honeychild.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. Alright, so me and Gand and Salem are on a mission, along with Toby. The rest of you, be on your best behavior. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. If you do, don't name it after me, and don't bring it back to the ship. And remember that if you catch any communicable diseases, the doctor is only too happy to treat you with the biggest needle she has. I heard that. In any case, I'm coming ashore. I have some things I have to pick up. Okay. All right then.
You'll notice she said nothing about you being incorrect.
Yeah. I hate it when I'm right. And so, you pull expertly into a berth that's slightly larger than the space than the displacement of your ship, hooking up to the automated grabby pincer things that hold it in place and keep it from drifting off this way and that when you're not aboard. And with a couple of shutter clangs, all of the board lights up green. And Doki makes like an arrow for the hatch. Doki's little legs are kicking. And y'all know you can't go no place because you start trouble wherever you go.
Turn around, away from the hatch, bowling for Jawas.
Tunk.
I didn't throw him too hard.
He's just frustrated. He's having a tantrum. He needs a nap. He's got to have a timeout.
Every time I shut everything down for duration burst. Yeah.
Marrow adjusts his hat. Let's go. Let's go get some money. Who has the data chip? You have the data chip. Give him the data chip. Don't eat. Hey! That's not even half funny. You eat that, we lose a lot of money. Money equals better ship.
Can't digest it. It would cough back up in a short time. It's safe, protected.
You know,
Don't think the Imperial wants you to cough the
in
chip.
a tight, you know, in a tight space, that's not a bad plan.
Under different circumstances, maybe.
So after a minute, you see Marrow sort of looking at you up and down. Y'all gonna wear that?
Yes.
He looks natural.
That's what I'm afraid of. Y'all gonna wear that? Don't you have a ceremonial bathrobe or something? Don't you? We're trying to present you as with an air of respectability.
Maybe a stop at a clothing shop first.
Yeah. Trouble is, he gets in the fitting
Traditional
room.
fonts maker.
But you're not gonna just be a findsman. That's not your.
But that's what this gant is.
I know, but you have to pretend to be a findsman, plus a loyal Imperial citizen who once served a senator who gave you a gift, and you don't really know what to do with it. But you know, y'all have heard about this magical number of 1 million credits, and this would do all your little pouchlings lots of good, and so you have come to make a fair trade because you know that what's on the chip is worth many, many, many more credits than that.
Start at 2 million.
We'll get to that in a minute. First things first, we put some clothes on him and give him a preliminary wash-up.
Do you have any dignitaries in your people?
Many.
Dress like one of them.
Wear anything.
Yes.
Wear something like that.
That will require shopping.
We're going shopping. And you're going with him. Just in case.
Don't go too far, we got something to sell later. Actually, you know what? Here, take this. Gives you the crystal.
Just in a
I got shit
to
to
a
do.
bar.
That's right, yeah. Here, you practice your negotiation skills. I got shit to do. 20 minutes later, he's got some Rhodian by the shirt and figures that he'll either get a price or he'll put the Shern crystal in the Rhodian's ear.
Up the
That's
snout,
not
man, up the snout.
negotiation.
That's my form of negotiation.
Dubaka the merchant. That was a short life path.
You will like it!
800 credits. How's about 750? Bam! 800 credits. Yes, sir.
No, things worth about $3,000. I'm pretty sure I can get at
Sorry,
least
do
two
the
out
do
of
the old
somebody.
do the old Book of Eli, smash your face against bar. Yeah, do it.
You don't look really
So
good on that
he
ring.
hands you the shirt and crystal. And,
That nose ring.
Mm.
That's the bar.
That's one. Put it in my pouch.
Throttle.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want me to make a check to see if I can find if I know anybody on this station that might be.
Center Point?
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked. You've got like 3 underworlds, so you know, past a certain point, it's like who are you? I mean, it just becomes a question of who you want to look for. You want to look for an independent slime bag. You want to look for a slime bag that's with the Zon, with the Black Suns, with the Huts.
Oh, Salem hands you a piece of paper.
Probably
On
looking
it
for an
says
independent,
stock
somebody
price,
who's going to be less likely
number
to
of stocks, or it's like a data
follow
pad with all pertinent
afterwards or
information.
ask too many questions.
And he
I'll
says,
get to you. I'll get to you in
memorize
just a moment. Memorize? No. Why are you telling him to memorize stuff when you can speak in his ear?
Done.
Oh, I don't understand you people. I really don't. Okay.
It's called dealing with lag time, I think.
Like, yeah. That's right.
The less
It's
lag
like
he
an
has to
interview
deal
on
with-
CNN, you know?
The
Actually-
better it'll come across.
Okay. So, he sort of strides with her right out the door, you know? And he's holding the Shern crystal in his hand, and he's looking at it. And he's looking around, and he's looking at it. And he sees a Toydarian. And the Toydarian's got some BS written in 12 different languages on his little shop. But he apparently does deal in crystals, minerals, you know, rocks, fossils. And he's got like one of those, you know, ocular setups with the ocular thing sticking 3 feet out of his head, and another one sticking this way, and revolving lenses, and oh yeah.
This would be the guy.
Hello, my Wookiee friend. How are you doing today? You come to sell Tuco. You come to sell Tuco something. Show me what you got there.
Does he have is there a backup to his shop, or is it just like a stall?
It's a stall. It's
In
a
this case.
stall. Well, what are you worried about? Somebody going to steal it from you? Yes.
No,
What did you decide to do today, Bob? Well,
Actually-
I decided to steal a Shern crystal
I
from a
would
Wookiee. I was partially successful. I escaped with my life.
I got 5
Something
steps
like that,
before he caught
I'd be
me.
worried if it was a back door that somebody might suddenly come out of there with blaster first.
No, it's not that. It's just something like this might draw a little bit of attention. That's why I just wanted to keep it out of sight as much as possible. But I was like, no, I have something that you might be interested in.
Oh. Well, why don't oh. Hey, you mind I take a look, huh? And he pulls out a blaster, puts it on the table, turns it so that the handle is toward you. And then he picks up your Shern crystal and looks at it. That's your insurance. It makes the customers feel better, huh? I
He
think
doesn't
this.
notice the giant axe
Yeah.
on my back. It's like,
What do you want? He's got a optometrist shop on his face. It's a wonder he notices the crystal. Surprised he didn't have to put it in his hand like he was blind. So he's looking at this thing. He's like, "Whoa, that's a nice crystal. Where do you get this crystal? You tell Tuco where you got the crystal, huh? You whisper in my good ear. Not this one. This one's no good. I have a wife. She's clean. You whisper in this ear where you got the crystal. Huh? I give you good price.
my friends and I are archaeologists.
Archaeologists. Well, because the Toydarians have noses like this, so he's like, I know all kinds of archaeologists. No problem, no problem. You're a man who enjoys his discretion. I appreciate that. I tell you what, it's a good crystal, but I have to be honest with you, I've seen the better. So I'll give you 3,000 for it. In nice folding cash, huh? Nice, you hold it in your hand, you walk down the street like so. You can't beat no folding cash.
$5.
No, 5. No, I don't know. It's funny looking. It reminds me of a cousin I had. I don't know. Not only that, but I got kids to feed. The wife just popped out too much. She does them two at a time. I don't even think they're mine, really. I don't know what's going on. I give you 3,500. Plus, I give you a nice necklace. You put around your neck, you scare your enemies, everything wonderful. You do for Tuco, 3,500. Plus, I throw in the nice, scary necklace. It's around here someplace.
Keep the necklace, meet me at 4.
No. They used to tell me that Wookiees drive a hard bargain. Oh. What about 3,700 and then you and I, because I have children. As a matter of fact, I think in the time we started talking, my wife has had 2 more children. If this keeps up, if I can't go in the back and stop her, she's going to have a whole litter by the time we're finished. I have to hurry up and conclude this deal. What's that? You see? More. Come. I tell you what, 37.50. I give to you 37.50, and I don't mention to nobody where I got it. You come to Tuco, you get discretion. Maybe not my wife, but you get discretion.
Fine. Figured.
You're a man of excellent business acumen. He counts out some paper script. Oh, no. That's hotties. You don't want that. Not worth the paper it's written on. There you go. Imperial scripts. Good for you. Another successful deal with Tuco. Lord of all the Shen crystal dealers. He cocks his head. He says, I'm coming. What? More children in the back he goes. Well, that was fun.
What a weirdo.
One of these is going to be in for a surprise. His system will actually load that blaster.
the customer will be like, That's how good a merchant I am. I drive the competition to death.
After that wonderful exchange, I'm going to go and find that axe that you were talking about.
You're not exactly sure what the race of this fellow is, but he's beefy. He has one big watery brown eye on this side of his head because the other one it looks like somebody gouged out with their bare whatevers. And he's got bumps on his head, lumpy bumps, like somebody took a hammer, for cosmetic purposes. But he's armored like a brick poodoo house. He's just like, blah. You're looking for weapons, you come to the right place. I got everything you see here. You to me looks like a man who likes to get right up close and squeeze the life right out of your enemies. To see them dying as the last of their livingness comes through your fingers. And then to drop what's left of them quivering on the floor. And to throw your hands in the air and soak up the adulation of the crowd. I got just a thing for you.
Someone misses the old days.
Comes
So
over.
I'm looking at him going, did I meet you in the arenas? No,
No, you didn't. Because I am very old and you're obviously very young. But I tell you this, if you and I had met in our heydays, we were both in our prime, they would have thrown money at us for days. I got something for you, hold on. So he's throwing axes and force pipes over his shoulder and stuff. And, now this was built for a Wookiee. Shoot, look at that balance. Look at that snap hum when you turn it on. Look at that monofilament edge. You can shave with it if you ever get tired of the whiskers on your face. That's the price. He writes the price down. Of course, he, is writing. He writes the price down on a grease pad. Turns it around. It's firm, like my abs.
And so it's $750. I think he said.
$750. I didn't go that high, did I? It's 2,500. I said. You're a man who knows his weapons, a man of discernment. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta watch the fights on GNN.
Alright. Pay the guy.
These people in the station are out their minds.
That's what you get when you walk into a free port. All kinds of nut bars.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, what are you doing, Angela? What are you doing?
Right.
Are you looking for others of your kind?
Not specifically. A couple of things I wanted to do. First was replace at least one of my outfits because I got shot on the haunted planet. So
It's called the Haunted Planet. Okay. That shouldn't be too hard to do. I mean, are you looking for something rugged? Are you looking for something semi-stylish? I mean, are we talking about a cyberpunk standard of like street chic or what?
I was thinking that if I'm going to get shot at, I'd like at least a little bit of armor. I don't, unlike him, I don't necessarily care if it's super hidden or not.
I don't suppose you've gone through the armor types and picked one out and made my life a little easier, have you?
Sorry, no.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Open up the armor types, and they should be in there somewhere.
From the sounds of it, you're looking for armored
Melee
clothing.
weapons, ranged weapons.
I think you have armored clothing already. Don't
I
you?
had heavy.
There's only weapons here.
Heavy clothing?
Yeah.
Here.
So, depending on cost.
Steve, can I nick a little bit of your Pepsi, man? I'm
just
so.
go for-
Excellent.
Was this Diet Pepsi? Hey, listen, Jesse.
Yeah.
Oh wait, would you mind taking a quick trip upstairs into my room? There's a little fridge, and in the door of the fridge there are like various cans of soda, but
Yeah,
there should be,
Yeah,
if you
like
rummage, and this is all in the door. You don't have to look inside the actual fridge. There should be at least 2 cans of Diet Pepsi. Just bring every can of silver Diet Pepsi that you can.
Sure.
I'm essentially going to. I don't even know what I'm going to do. It's just you reminded me that I had Pepsi. This is me because I'm a crazy person now. This is so. I'm basically going to drink a little bit more of yours, and I'm going to give yours back to you, and then I'm going to drink my own.
Like when I started, I couldn't have afforded the armored clothing.
Oh,
like
geez.
heavy
Expensive
clothing.
stuff.
So upgrading to armored clothing would
Yeah, but what's the cost? This doesn't have the cost in
would
it.
be
It
a
just
nice
has
balance, I
the
think, between.
list.
But I think
between
she's looking at the
actually
actual
doing
manual.
something.
And being normal looking, or at least not ridiculous.
Keep in mind things like encumbrance.
Yes. Today I went and bought everything I could up to encumbrance. I think 6 out of mine. I think it goes up to 7. And then went and took all the 0 encumbrance equipment
Nice.
just so I'd have it.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
armored clothing is, I think, what I want. So.
Or just anything that looked.
Here, if
really
you run out of that, and I haven't drunk this already, you can have the wobble bummed one.
Did you pick your armor? Andrew?
Yeah. So
So what did you end up going with?
armored clothing,
Yeah.
defense of 1, silk of 1, costs.
There is a shiny blue. I mean, imagine a C-3PO, but instead of being gold metallic or silver metallic, it's bluish metallic shiny. And that's the salesperson.
Okay.
And so, and this droid identifies itself as a she, and pays you many compliments. Tells you that it looks very, very stylish on you. It is absolutely a wonderful suit of clothing. I think it will complement you as you are flying throughout space, and that is important. No, one must look good when one is doing what one loves. Oui.
It helps. It helps. Certainly, it helps when you're making deals when you've hit the port.
Absolutely. She takes your money. Now, are you? You seem to be doing some sort of paperwork. What are you doing?
Just making note of a couple of the important things, like
Statistics. Okay, I'll leave you to work out the statistics in a minute. Now on to the main event. I mean, I will get back to you in a sec, but I'll leave you to update your sheet. So, an extremely understanding pair of Duros. Now the Duros are the kind of the gray face guys, usually known for their penchant for going out and exploring the galaxy. But these two are haberdashers. And they take one look at you, and they look you up and down. Something a little stylish? Yes, something stylish, I should think. You are a fellow who appreciates good style, aren't you, good fellow? I bet he is. Why, I said to myself the minute he came in, self? Yes, because that's what he calls himself. I say that you would look good in burgundy. Wouldn't he look good in burgundy? He would look the absolute wombat's knees in burgundy. He totally would. And we're going to give you a small cap to fit in that space between the top of your head and your compound eyes with little ridges. Will go on the portions of your eyes that can't see anyway. You will absolutely love it. I guarantee it. You must try it. You must test it. Absolutely. Right now. In you go.
Thinking of something a little more traditional. Something like it holds up the data pad with like dignitary.
Oh, has someone died? I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was such a solemn occasion. No, burgundy is the wrong color. The wrong color. No. Gray, black. Gray and black. Yes. Same cut, same style, but gray and black. Also, the cravat will have to be larger. Now, we'll get you suited in a moment. In you go. You get in, and there are a series of droids that literally build the clothing around you. First, they take your clothes, and then they're like, whoop, thump, and then they build the clothing around you. There's a supervisory droid who kind of looks like one of the spies in Spy vs. Spy, but taller, and with sort of that conical head and the compound eyes. Excellent, sir. I'm sure you will find this an excellent fit. I'm sure that you will find that the quality of the clothing is only the best. Excellent, sir. Please turn around, sir. Please lift your arms, sir. Please bend your neck forward. Now bend it back. Now bend it to the left side. Now bend it to the right side. Thank you very much, sir. Tell me, do you dress to the right or to the left, sir? Excellent. It's good because there was a hand that was going to show you.
It's down here.
Hello.
I don't have those.
Sorry, we're engineered.
Okay.
But it must be scented to reflect the mists. Is required.
Very well, sir. We will absolutely do that. So he comes out looking good and still smelling like piss.
We gotta do something about you, man. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna go into some kind of perfume shop, and I'm looking for some kind of scent that would mask this.
There is you didn't think that
A dispenser.
You didn't think that a
Personally.
you didn't think that a human's face could pinch up like that. But the fellow looks at you. Dear.
Maybe some kind of active
You're looking for
dispenser.
something that will keep it from knocking a buzzard off a fecal cart at 70 yards. I believe I have something that might be able to help. Something that is in the general category of industrial solvent. I think I have something here that was once a failed jungle defoliant
Yes,
that
but
might
doesn't
do
have
the
to-
job.
Yes, but doesn't have continuous use. I think that's the key point here.
It won't damage him because chitin secretes a microsubstance that is constantly eating away at everything it comes in contact with in terms of scent and pheromone, which is why they're remarkably difficult to seduce by most of the species in the galaxy. That and the fact that they are notoriously thick as a brick. Now,
Don't take it personally.
it's nothing personal at all. I assure you that there is and will
There is
always be
truth
a
to it.
place in the galaxy for people who simply don't get it. Now, this is the substance. I suggest that you only apply this upwind of anything. And you allow it to settle and match to your chemistry for a few moments. At best, you will get anywhere from 35 minutes to an hour of potency. Oh, by the seven gods, I am fixing to die. You
I'm
look
sorry.
like-
I'm just paying the man. I'm
you
just
look like a man of refinement. Perhaps you could give me the money and get him out of here ere I
I'm
die.
terribly sorry, sir.
That was pleasant, and by pleasant I mean excruciating. Meryl looks over at you and goes, "There's some rude people in this world, I tell you what."
But
Don't worry, this only has to last a
this
little
cloaks
while.
the scent of the mists. How would anyone believe that I am an important Gand?
It's all going to be visual.
You aren't meeting game. You're meeting humans.
This is true, and humans are strange.
I think that was a shot, and yet somehow it fails to hurt. Let's get in seeing about our money. I know I do sound as though I'm going on about a singular topic, but a man's got to keep his eye on the ball.
This is an item of singular importance.
Come on, Gad, you look good, you smell... Are you hungry?
Food?
There are
Yes.
vendors.
Now I want you to understand something. I will feed you now on my expense to the point where you can barely move. But you must promise me that all of the time you are in the presence of that Imperial civil servant, you will not attempt to consume anything.
Or regurgitate.
Or regurgitate, or regurgitate! You give me a word. Look.
But what if he has something you...
Look. Roast. A giant Vornska roast.
Look at the exoskeleton.
I have
All for you.
I have not eaten those before.
All for you. So first we put a bib on him. A giant bib.
It's got a crab on it.
Yeah. It's got a kraken. It's got a wampa. It's got a big wampa on it. Wally Wampas! How's a wampa? If it doesn't look like wampa, doesn't smell like wampa, and don't fight you like wampa, it's not wampa and it's not Willy Wampa. Come for the Ranko special. Y'all can kill the Ranko, y'all can eat the Ranko, like I'm gonna argue with you none.
You kill it, I skill it.
All kills must be made fresh and on the premises. Dubaka's dragging a wampa by the balls.
Cook this part first. It's the tenderest.
I will take the strength of my enemies. There's a one-eyed weapon merchant back there I want a piece of. That's the Wookiee sucker punch. Rise and shine, motherfucker! Clow, right on his blind side. Take him right out. Drop him like third period French. Okay. So, you guys feed him. Meanwhile, as you step out of the haberdasher, you come face to face with something very, very troubling. And his name is Hamza. He used to be Uncle Hamza. And then there was the thing. And Uncle Hamza is dressed like a beggar. Like he doesn't stink, but he's wearing just rags, and he has a hood that sort of hangs down a bit. But Uncle Hamza has a series of small scarifications that go along his eye orbit line and come down here. He's had that for years. And you would know that that's him anywhere, because you've been taught ever since you were a little girl that former Uncle Hamza is an enemy of the people. And there's a big, fat, stinking glob of filthy lucre for anybody that has proof that they have taken care of former Uncle Hamza, and it's an even bigger glob of stinking, filthy lucre if you bring him in alive.
Do we know what he did that was so horrible?
Yeah, he compromised the home world. They would have executed him right there on the spot if he hadn't run. One of the reasons that Uncle Pusheen has risen to such a prestige amongst the families. Now, for those of you that don't know, when she talks about uncles, the word you should hear is duke. That's the word that you should hear. The way the clan is set up is very arcane. It's very sort of kind of like a katana folded over on itself a bunch of times. There is a structure, but when she says uncle, what you should hear is relatively high-ranking royalty. And so uncle isn't necessarily a familial, this isn't, brother of her mother or father. It's,
He's a capo.
Yeah. He's a very high-end capo. But does that do you have any objection to how I've characterized
It's not entirely wrong. It's not entirely right. We didn't settle how it was, so we're thinking only slightly at corners.
Well, you're the Kuros here. You decide.
Fair enough. Everything works off of weird familial lines and blurs and, as you said, folds over each other. We don't necessarily organize ourselves the way, quote unquote, organized crime does, but
Yeah.
but people do certain things.
Power is understood within the family in a certain way.
Yeah, it doesn't. Uncle wouldn't necessarily be the same thing as rank. Uncle would be more a generational marker. If you actually run something, you're an elder.
Mm.
So he would have been Elder Hamza before we
Okay.
See, that'll
dropped him,
teach
and he
you.
is no longer Kyros. He's not Kairos.
But but however, Pusheen is a very interesting individual, because even though he is an elder, he's still addressed as Uncle Pusheen.
Well,
Everybody
yeah.
still calls him Uncle Pusheen. Whereas I should think that there are other individuals who are elders who are actually called something to do with elder. The other thing,
Yeah,
too, is I'm
it's
also beginning to... I don't know if we ever decided whether or not the Kuros were human only. And if they're not, there's probably a number of different languages that factor into this.
Yeah, I mostly thought. I think the way I'd set it up in my head is that we're mostly human, and there might be one or two family lines that they started out all human because they were a subset, but I wouldn't be surprised if the family line that went missing did something interesting with a couple of humanoids and came back with some extra genes. Or not. They're still officially missing.
Some of the chest. We don't speak of the chest.
Sure we do, it's just
Dirty chest.
interesting stories that some people don't actually want to hear.
So the long and the short of it is that Elder Hamza and Uncle Pushin were once individuals of. They were very good friends. They used to hang around together. They were considered a part of a group known as the Inseparables. There was 4 or 5 of them altogether, all of whom have gone on to respectable, if not ranked members within the clan. But essentially, there was an incident. You're not sure of the precise details, but there was an incident, and Hamza was disgraced, and he was accused of compromising the homeworld, and Uncle Pushin led a valiant attempt to find him. After a number of years, it was called off by the High Elders, or the very elders. The council. And she's teaching me. And but ever since then, Hamza is considered a target of opportunity. Well, actually, he's one of those situations where you're bound to do him harm if you are able, that sort of thing. Meanwhile, Uncle Pushin is, well, Uncle Pushin.
And because of the markings on his face, I know absolutely that this is Hamson.
Yeah, yeah. Those markings actually are an honor that are handed out to most people posthumously.
So there's definitely a story in why he's still walking around with them.
Yes, but unfortunately, when you get discommoded, defrocked, unclanified, a lot of those old histories are suppressed.
Safe to assume, though, he's one tough son of a bitch.
Well, he would have had to, because the entire Kiroth clan was looking for him for 15 years. Everybody who wore a glyph had one eye open for this guy for 15 years, and nobody could touch him. He was a ghost.
So this happened when Vanny was a kid, or even a small child.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask him that, do you?
Does it have to be aspirin? Because I got
Anything. Acetaminophen, ASA, ibuprofen, something.
These days in a pharmacy. You take one of those, not 2. 1.
I always take 2.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
You're hurt, I guess.
No, actually, it's my neck right now.
He stops long enough to glance at you, sees the inevitable recognition in your eyes, and then just turns 90 degrees and walks away from you.
Look around to see if anyone else has paid his attention.
You don't think so?
And start walking sort of in that direction, but not quite. Does he look as if he's armed?
It's tough to tell. That cloak covers a lot.
I'm going to have to assume that he's not stupid enough not to be armed.
I'm trying to think.
But, yeah, I'm sort of drifting in the same direction as heading, trying to decide if it's at all possible to Actually, for that matter, if I can just keep an eye on him, I might.
You might knock on him.
Just see where he goes.
Yeah.
Well, eventually he makes his way towards a hatch that says maintenance on it. When he pops the hatch, goes in, closes it behind him.
Those station maintenance things are only what, big enough for maintenance workers.
It depends. Sometimes you open up the doors and there's nothing there but a little dog run. Sometimes you open up the doors and, you know, it's cavernous. You've never been into the maintenance portions of Centerpoint Station, so it could be anything, really.
Right.
You can tell one thing, though, with a Navy-style hatch that's essentially an oval in a wall. It's not designed for droids to get in and out, so that should give you an idea of what kind of space you're working with.
So if preservation says don't get into close quarters with this guy.
And what will you do instead, if anything? Or you just sit there and wait for him to come out?
Sorry.
Go looking for some of my companions. Either the Chiss or the Wookiee will do. Backup is good.
This is what conflicts are for.
And yeah. Hi guys, you busy with anything you can't drop soon?
No.
Okay. We got a bit of an interesting situation here with having run into someone who's potentially kind of dangerous and also worth a whole lot of money to the elders of my people. Someone we'd really like to do something about.
A bounty.
Yes.
Where are you?
Look around. Does it say on the?
Are easily able to convey a location.
Okay. So,
Head over there.
On our way.
Meanwhile, Imperial Office of Galactic Finance, Treasury and Exchequer Division. Welcome. So, you and Marrow sit on a sort of an aisle bench, kind of like, you know, those Rito Center style benches. He sits with his back to you. You sit with your back to him.
Yep.
Both of you studiously looking in some other direction. Make sure the comm link works, and you're sort of slowly push.
I turned to Barrow and said, just relax. We're just sitting here. That's all we're doing.
I'm relaxed. I'm very relaxed. So, you step in the front door, and there's a female human there. She's like, "Hello."
You have a name or something?
Introduce yourself.
Yes, what? This good day. This scan would like to speak to an official.
What about exactly?
You have been,
Blah, 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 blah.
you've gained an inheritance from a human ambassador that has recently passed away and wish to deal with it as it deals with imperial corporations.
One moment, please. She stands up and heads into the back. After about 10 minutes, she comes back. Please come this way. So you step into the back, and there's a fussy-looking little fellow sitting at he's standing behind the desk now, and he looks human, Corellian maybe. He's got that dark black hair. He doesn't have a cap, and he's not wearing a military uniform. He's wearing a very, how shall I put this, a very conservative civilian suit. And he doesn't shake your hand, and his forehead crumples a little when he sees you.
Does Gand have some kind of tap signal that he can use to communicate with me, like yes no type thing, so that the other person doesn't know what he's saying?
No, he's gonna have to work it into speech.
Okay. I ask him, I ask Gand, does he have a suit on, or is he wearing an imperial uniform?
Well, you would know this. This guy's a civil servant.
Well, my point is okay. Well, we're lucky that we got a bookkeeper and not some asshole.
Hard charging member of the ISB. So, what are you doing with this stock anyway, scan grid?
And I tell Gand that don't worry about it.
20 minutes later, he's like, "Oh, my lovely clothing."
He's just here to collect his 2%.
I think at that point his clothing would be the least of his worries.
He's just here to collect his 2%. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine. Everything will be fine. And we just sort of go through a script of I am, he is this person, this Gand that worked with some professor that I probably had back in my university days, who used to be probably one of the
poli-sci or
whatever.
Some other useless humanity.
Exactly. And who probably actually had a career at some point, so he probably could be traced back to something. And he said, that you were gifted for your 30 years of commendable service. You were gifted a stock chip, and he understand. You understand that there is this that you have to go to official channels to be able to deal with it, and that it might be worth something. Might be worth quite a bit, in fact.
Can I see this stock chip of yours? He said it takes it with 2 fingers, puts it gently in the reader, taps a few keys, looks at you, taps a few keys, looks at you, taps a few more keys.
This game was informed it could be of great benefit to his clan.
What did you say?
I said this game was informed it would be of great benefit to its clan.
Yeah. Well, you understand that by default, these sort of things are property of the Empire.
I am deserved at least some value for it as the bearer of the chip. But it is his right to buy and sell as he chooses under under imperial law.
But these are protected stocks. Scion Fleet Systems is a closely watched company, key to imperial security.
I've given you the name of the person, the previous owner of this. Is that not enough?
I'm currently investigating the veracity of that information. It's not looking good, I'm afraid. It may quite be that these didn't come from who you say they came from, which is a load of bullshit because you inspected those certificates when Bevan cut them.
Are you trying to squeeze me?
And if I was, what exactly do you propose to do about it?
I think we could both become rich off of this. I tell Gan to say.
Again, happily repeats his words for now. If I need to change anything, I'll let you know.
Do you believe that I do anything here other than serve the will of the Emperor?
Of course not. You're a loyal servant. But why can't you get rich in the process?
Even if I was in a position to acknowledge your claim over the stock, what do you possibly think you have a right to in terms of a dollar value? This is where it's been drilled into the two of you. 1 million. That's it. 1 million.
That's what I say.
I was going to say 1.25.
We drilled in.
Get him down to 1.
1 million. Do you understand how much this stock is worth, Gant?
I was informed it was of substantial value to the clan.
And yet all you want is 1 million credits? Because that leads me to believe that these may indeed be stolen. It's very, very rare that someone who's sitting on top of this kind of fortune, and it is a tremendous fortune, would be willing to let it go so quickly, unless in essence what you're trying to do is get the Empire to launder your own criminal enterprise for you.
Say things have changed. These stocks have been around since the Republic was around. Things have changed.
I'm fully aware of that, but it doesn't answer my original question. These stocks could have been owned by anybody before they came into your hands. Assuming they came into your hands as you said that they did. And I have no reason to believe that, except on your say-so and some documents.
Say, is it a legitimate credit chip? Does the credit chip, or does the stock chip check out?
Yes, it does. These are shares.
Then what is the problem?
The problem is that you're not human. That's the problem.
So it's your prejudices that are the problem.
Oh, is that what they call a desire for humans to assume their rightful place in the galaxy? Is that what it is now, to be told that aliens should know their place?
Can I do a coercion roll through him?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
I'm going to.
I think coercion is a. No, I don't.
In fact, I might even do. Oh no, I could really do a skating tirade when I'm not in a.
A what?
I was gonna. If I'd been in the room, I would have done a skating tirade, but I'm not. So I have to tell Gan what to say, and he has to say it.
Beforehand, the Gand just adds the Gand have always had equitable relations with humans and the Empire. I don't see.
Well, of course you have. Why would you do anything else? You've always known your place. There's never any problem when you aliens know your place. It's when you get uppity that the problems start. My heavens. Of course there's never any problem when you do what you're supposed to do. But when you come here to extort the Empire of money, that's another matter entirely, isn't it?
Can I do my coercion?
Yeah, you better do your coercion
I'm gonna
right
say,
fucking
look,
now.
You are a low-end imperial bookkeeper that's gotten the shit end of the stick as far as positions are concerned.
So what we have to do is we have to find out what your coercion skill would be, which I think is nothing, right, Adam?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, coercion? I don't have the skill. No.
Okay.
Do you have the skill?
What is the attribute that
coercion is based off of will? That I have.
What do you got?
3.
Oh, what have you got?
I have a 2 coercion.
You have a 2 coercion. What's your will?
My will is 2.
Okay, so there we go.
Willpower's against racial.
So it's 2 yellow, 1 green, and since this guy, I'm pretty sure if you pushed him pretty, if you
are you rolling? Is he rolling it?
You can roll it. I don't care.
Whatever.
No, I mean, you know, whoever wants to roll, sweetheart, who wants to
Well,
roll.
we are rolling the room.
Now, do you guys want to hit the destiny before you roll, or what?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's turn over our light side.
Sure. Oh, we have plenty.
So we need an advantage. Are there any disadvantages or contestants?
Hey.
Like, is it a contested roll? Number 1.
As far as I can tell, coercion is not a contested roll.
Are there any disadvantages?
If this was a
or-
negotiate role, I would see it be contested. If you're asking what the difficulty is, I'm gonna peg that at 3 purples, and I'm gonna assign 1 black setback die because at this point,
Prejudice thing.
if you rolled him,
Yep.
he would look really stupid, and he's very aware of that.
Very good.
Big man force be with you.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if the dice like this.
So what exactly are you telling him while he's rolling those dice? What are you? What's the
That
nature?
you're a low-level imperial bookkeeper that didn't have the gumption to get himself a good posting. Shut up and do your job.
Take an opportunity when you see it, jackass.
Shut up and do your damn
Since
job.
this
and
is
let's get us
obviously
both
the
rich.
highest you were ever going to raise without engaging in a little bit of creative promotion, why don't you just take the money and run, shitbird? That works.
I got 2 successes and an advantage.
Look at that.
He looks
He's
at
nuts.
you. So he looks at you.
I just got talked down by a bug idea.
Jesus.
All right. You've made your point. But you're not walking out of here with 1,000,000 credits if I can help it.
They say, why don't we make it 2?
Exactly. Jesus. Keep it your pants.
What's your name? Gand. But in Gand, my name means D's nuts. Hello, brother, D's nuts.
Sorry.
I'm a bastard, and I know how to make people hate themselves.
Are you purporting to dictate to me a higher price than when you came in here? Yeah, of course I am, since you started fucking with me.
Only if pressed.
Negotiation time. Who's got the negotiation?
I got 1 in negotiation.
Oh boy, what governs negotiation?
Negotiation?
Presents.
That unfortunately is presence.
Who has higher presence?
That's him.
Uh,
my die is not good.
we're going to use your presence in your negotiation, and this is a contested check. So that's 1 purple and 1 red.
Okay, so I
Plus one plus 1 setback because you've pantsed him once now.
1 purple and 1 red, you said?
Yeah,
And 1 setback?
yeah.
I can downgrade that
Red,
red
if you want to downgrade the red with a destiny.
I will do that.
Get to flipping, Flipposaurus.
Done and done.
Come on now, boy. Come on now, boy.
1, what's that? No, it's the special good, what are they called? The Triumphs.
A triumph?
Yeah.
Si, senor.
And a disadvantage.
A triumph and a disadvantage.
Or is it a failure? No, it's a triumph and a failure.
Triangle, yeah.
Triumph and a failure.
It counts the triumph for some reason, no matter what.
Yeah, it does. But the triumph has a success.
Yeah.
But the fail cancels out the success and the triumph. But you did get the triumph.
But I got the triumph.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, failure. And
I will give you 1,500,000 credits.
That's-
I will give it to you right now. And then you will leave my office and you will never return.
I love this game.
Score.
can't hit anything with a gun, but fucking talk his mouth off.
Well, that's how he originally built the character. In many ways, it's my failing for not putting enough of those situations in front of
I
him.
bow to your superior negotiating
I'm so good, I can get a game to get us out of trouble.
What the hell, man?
Now you have finally proven why you're on the
The
team.
game has a
He
voice
reaches,
box.
he grabs a drawer in his desk, yanks the thing open, and a bunch of data pads come flying out. He grabs a new one. He puts his thumbprint on it. Put your stinking digit print on the end of that beside mine. Throws it at you. It is concluded. Get hence.
Of course. Release gas.
Why is he so mad?
I know, but this is the Empire.
It's the
These
Empire.
are the same people that went, we're under attack from the rebels. We'll deploy 1 squadron of TIE fighters, just 1. Let the turbo lasers do the work. What, you mean they're not all flying Y-wings? Shit.
When he calms down, he'll be a lot happier.
Not even the president.
I turned to Marrow. I sort of
pissed off about
looked.
how he.
I looked pat like his Marrow's like here, face that way. I sort of looked that way
Yeah.
and go. So, how do you think the negotiations went?
Let's get out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get good and get out of here. You were told where to walk and wait for these two, so it didn't look like you guys are like la 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 with your balls clicking together in time walking down the.
Roxy the Wizard.
That's right. To steal some money from the Empire. Meanwhile, this guy's gonna get a
It's like
promotion.
Yeah, it's like we're rich, and I just helped that piece of shit's career. I'm not sure how happy I'm about
Yeah,
this
but
trade.
I'm pretty sure you farted him to death. So unless that guy can breathe methane, he's got about 3 seconds to get out of that office for a breath of fresh air.
Don't let him match.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe somebody has a contract on him.
Or more likely, he's like, I'll have a death stick to celebrate my. Great, now they're looking for a terrorist. Dressed up like a gad diplomat. Time to get back in your rags, son. Quick, back in the breach clout. So, you're sort of slowly making your way over to wherever, because what the hell, right? I mean, go shopping, right? Hey, ooh, Twi'leks. Hubba, 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 hubba.
No fur.
Yeah, but they don't. They break unlike Wookiee women.
Once you go hairy, you find it's not scary. So, but yes, three. Now, that's when you all but trip over what's left of an R2 droid, and it burbles at you. It's been badly damaged. It's been bludgeoned and chopped at, and it's got one leg kind of half useless underneath it. Its dome is half separated from the rest of its body. Its dome rocks back and forth and it burbles. Now, because of the general Wookiee aptitude towards technology, you picked up droid speak very quickly. Help me, help me. Help me, help my mistress, help my mistress. No one will believe me. Help my mistress. She has been kidnapped. Help my mistress.
That's what happened.
I am R2IN80. I am R2IN80. She was taken. She was taken not far from here. My mistress is going to be so alone and afraid. Please help us. I do not know what I will tell her mother, the Hive Mother. Hive Mother? Hive Mother. You're gonna need some xenology to know exactly what that is. But hey, you can run it. You can roll it untrained if you like. This is Star Wars. You can roll it. Heart surgery? Roll that shit untrained, by God.
Actually, no. I get to roll my underworld.
Oh yeah? How come?
Because he says so.
Where is it?
He's a Wookiee.
Exactly.
No, it's called Talk the Talk. Spend those destiny point and sub underworld or streetwise for any knowledge check.
Oh, well.
Diddly
Or
diddly
ask
do.
me, I have xenology.
Well, I said it out loud. I don't know if you.
Well, then you can
I've
both
got
come.
three- I've got
you
three
can, you
yellows.
can, you
We'll
can
both
both
do it.
come to the same conclusion. I won't begrudge it of you. And sooner or later you're going to spend the points anyway. So
I got 3 yellows, so I don't know.
Oh, shit. You have your fun.
don't worry, your skills will come in a little handier later.
Anything setback or anything like that?
No, no, and it's one whole purple.
One success, one advantage.
There are about a dozen species that refer to their hierarchies as hives. Almost all of them are, of course, insectoid. But given the fact that this droid, at least when it was working, seemed to have been painted in every color of the rainbow, that might indicate the Verpine. Well, eventually the Verpine will partner up with Admiral Akbar on a little construction project called Chantilly that creates the B-wing fighter.
Yeah.
And Slane and Corporal is a Verpine company. They're very good shipbuilders. Next to the Corellians, they're considered amongst the best. And the Corellians are really only considered the best because, well, they built like all the ships. And you know, their ships are very rugged and very handsome and
Take a lot of blaster fire.
and very, very versatile. You want to stick a pool in the back of your ship? You go ahead. That's a Corellian ship, mister. You want a tailgate party up and down Nalhutta? No problem. Everybody wants to party at Nalhutta. Right, Angela?
Some of the people only get to do that once.
Okay.
This is true.
So I look at the droid. It's like,
Oh, what a party!
how many? How many were there, and where did they go?
Once you've done that,
I did not see them
no
all.
point doing any others.
I can show you where it happened.
Show
In
me.
many cases, you're absolutely.
That's painful to watch.
Yeah.
Poor R2IN80 is just chugging along with one. Look.
Look at you. Go deal with the bounty. I'll deal with this.
No, you're gonna need him. You're gonna need him. Besides, you know what you're walking into. You crazy? It's like, yeah, I'm here to save the.
My fur will stop all these blasters.
Get him right.
I believe the phrase you're looking for is "these nuts."
Wata! Cleave for days.
So the
Good times.
droid trundles. It's really sad. The droid needs a fix. the droid burgles along and then sort of takes you down the station's version of a back alley, the kind of place that if you have half an ounce worth of sense, you know not to go. Here, and it extends a sort of a semi-limp, wavy manipulator hand. Here, this is where it happened. They will not believe me. The authorities will not believe me. That's not hard to accept because chances are pretty good that when she went to the authorities, first thing they did was they plugged into her data banks, and if whoever it was that took her mistress smashed the data banks, there's nothing for them to see. It just becomes a question of hearsay at that point. However, there were signs of a struggle here. There are a number of dents in the walls. And over there, Gamorreans are interesting creatures. If you hit them hard enough, they do a cough sneeze that leaves a schmutz. Yeah. Or if they really overexert themselves, if they do something that to you or I might instantaneously pop a hernia, for them they do that mucus expectoration, and that's what that is. You can smell that a mile away. So when you get that shit off your fingers, and R2IN80 says, you know, that there was a Gamorrean involved. The Gamorreans seem to specifically enjoy beating her up. But you look around. You look around on. Sorry, the laptop keeps wanting to disconnect from the internet, and I don't know why. So you see a couple of pieces of chitin, like hard shell chitin.
Okay.
That's Verpine, and it's young. Maybe what a human would call a tween. Now it makes sense. This happens all the time. This is why the Verpine guard their royalty so jealously, because if you, quote-unquote, own a young hive mother, when verpine drones are born, they will seek out a hive mother without question. So if you own a hive mother, you essentially have a shake and bake shipbuilding outfit for your very own.
Fun.
Ask the droid, what else did you see?
There was one, very big. I had never seen anything like it. Huge, purple skinned, very menacing. If you're thinking what you think you're thinking, that's a herdlick. And if it's a herdlick, that's that big guy. Herdlicks are very big. They were sort of one of those races that once ruled the galaxy because they was big and tough and nasty.
Relay the information to him if he doesn't understand. Droid.
Sounds fun.
The droid says that there were others, but it's tough to, because I mean they grabbed her, they roughed her up a bit. Incidentally, that's when you sort of squat down and look at a small space formed between a lower wall plate and a deck plate. You sort of reach in with your fingers and you pull out a piece of chitin, but it's a very specific piece of chitin. It's a verpine antenna. Now, this is a problem because the verpine have a motherfucker of a time trying to lead a normal life without all their antennae. To cut one or more of them off is a guaranteed way to cripple them. Makes it almost impossible for them to communicate on a normative level with the rest of their people. As a matter of fact, there have been a number of very prominent xenobiologists throughout the galaxy who have said that some of the worst verpine criminals ever to plague the galaxy have been people who have had some sort of accident or birth problem occur to their antenna. Really fucks them up. So you sort of put that in a baggie.
Yeah. Relay the information.
Click the comm link to Manny.
Yeah?
Sit tight. We just had something come up.
Something bad come up?
Something that Chiss and I can handle. You'd probably be best to stay where you are.
This is Marrow. What's going on? Oh, we got paid.
By the way.
There's a story.
Again, knows how to talk.
Right.
Yeah, he comes through in a pinch. What are the rest of you kids up to? You crazy kids.
Click. Somebody's kidnapped a verpine hive mother.
Not an adult one.
No. Teenager.
Okay. Anybody else have anything fun to say? Funny.
There's someone on this station who my clan elders have one heck of a bounty out on. I saw him, I think he saw me, and
Would you make a vigilance check, please?
sure, one sec while I tell this thing to actually go on.
And your difficulty is 2 reds and a purple.
Well,
That's harsh.
Because this is a contested check.
Sure, I can't use the other thing for noticing things, perception.
Vigilance just really seems like it's a lot more appropriate right now.
Okay. It's just a matter of whether or not I get a yellow or
I know. Sometimes you have higher skills in some things than others.
Okay, that's looking not exactly good.
No, that's bad.
Why are you?
I can either look at my character sheet or I can use your dice roller.
Okay.
I can't do them at the same time.
I'm just, you know.
So you're looking at, oh dear, 3 failures, including a despair
Holy shit.
and a 1 advantage.
Yay.
Huzzah!
I think this means I'm getting clobbered.
Well, not quite clobbered, but as you're talking, you feel like put the comm mic down.
Sure.
I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want first?
Why don't you tell me the bad first and then the good to cheer me up after?
The bad news is that you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do, or I'm going to put a needle hole in your head. The good news is that if you do what I tell you to do, I'm not going to hurt you. You are, after all, family.
Okay.
But what you're going to do is with 2 fingers, you're going to take your blaster and you're going to put it over there in that garbage disposal. And he takes the gun from your head and he sort of tucks it unobtrusively into your ribs. And I'm just going to follow right along behind you. And we're going to smile. Everybody's going to smile. I don't see you smiling. Now with 2 fingers, I want you to put your blaster in the garbage disposal. Do you have any other weapons? Tell me now.
No, I don't.
All right, we're going for a little walk.
When you said put the
Leave the comm link on the bench.
down, I sort of gently dropped it, but I didn't turn it off. So hopefully whoever's
So everybody heard that. She's being friggin', you know, there's a very soft voice telling her to do things.
What was the last location?
Comics don't work that way.
Yes, they know, but she told them where she was.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Well,
that's how they
that's
get
no
relayed
good.
through. Yes, indeed.
I need my
So you
ropes.
guys, so you guys are basically running to get there, but it's far enough away that by the time you do get there, they're long gone.
I grab her things and stow them.
So you reach into the garbage. Oh no! Oh, did something lick me? No! 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 That's wrong!
Oh, it was just her blaster.
Meanwhile, you are ushered through the little hatch that you were watching him come out of not long ago. That goddamn drawer! Jesus, I hate that drawer. I'm gonna take that drawer down one of these days, I swear. So, closes the door tightly behind him. Walk. Let's go.
I do as he says.
So you walk for about 10 minutes, and then he sort of sits you on a makeshift chair overlooking a balcony, so that behind you is balcony and it's a long way down. To the left of you is balcony, it's a long way down. To the right of you it's balcony, it's a long way down. If you want to go anywhere other than that, a long way down, it's through again. Then he sits on another chair, conveniently in your damn road. What was your mother's name? Says the game official to the player.
I'm not sure will I actually come up with something because I have not.
You're Vanny, right? He says as he pulls his hood back. I know you. You're Jance's little girl. I knew her. Hell of a pilot. She ran Kessel, you know. She made good time every time she ran Kessel.
It does sort of run in the family.
Is that what you do? You're a pilot?
Yeah.
It's kind of what we all do, isn't it? It's kind of a stupid question. So let me guess. You were going to try to figure out how to turn me in and either get some credit with the family or What? We're just going to hand me over to bounty hunters for a split?
This is family business. Outside bounty hunters wouldn't shouldn't be done.
Well, believe me when I tell you, Vanny, that you have, in that regard, more honor than some of the elders do. Did you ever hear of a gas called the ruse? The Empire experimented with it back in the very, very late days of the Clone Wars, when they were just sort of trying to switch everything over to an empire rather than a grand army of the Republic. The ruse does really fun things to your body if you're exposed to it for any length of time without a proper decontamination. It literally erases portions of your genetic material. It does it so badly that Bacta can't touch you. Bacta literally cannot transpose your good DNA onto the bad DNA areas. He opens up his shirt and he shows you his left pectoral muscle all the way down to his upper elbow. I had a bad suit. It was 10 minutes before I realized what was going on. You know who used the ruse against me? No, and you never would guess. Do they still call Pusheen uncle? Of course they do. The code says that you always try, when it comes to your own people, no matter what they have done, to bring them in with honor. It was okay to murder me, but it had to be done clean. Right? It was okay to assassinate me, but it had to be done clean and it had to be done fair. No torture, no disassembly, no slow disintegration. Right? They changed the code in the last 15 years?
You know they wouldn't change.
No, they wouldn't change the code. So why did they do that to me then, Vanny? Oh wait. You know what? You know what's not fair? What's not fair is I should never ask a little sister a question that I already know the answer to. Because I compromised the home world. I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm going to tell you a secret that's going to burn through your mind for the rest of your life, until and unless you decide to find out the truth for yourself. I wasn't the one that compromised the home world. Pusheen was. I have proof. He reaches into his satchel. And this isn't just because he's got bags and he's got this whole platform area he seems to have made his own. And he's got bags and he's got boxes and he's got containers and cylinders and all sorts of shit kicking around here. But he reaches around a lot of that stuff and he comes out with a satchel that he's obviously kept clean and pristine, mended it when it's ripped and torn, and he opens up the satchel and he hands you 2 data discs. This is the proof. Now I have to be fully honest with you. I spotted you a long time before you spotted me. It's kind of like you hang around with bounty hunters long enough and you learn how to pick up the individual signatures of every bounty hunter. You learn what this one or that one does, how this one or that one acts, behaves, how they like to do things, how they like to park their ships, how they like to come into approach control, how much space they like to leave between this end of the ship and the bulkhead, little things like that. And that's how I spotted that you were Kiros claimed, Kiros trained, a true journeyman, a true wanderer. So I thought, what the hell? I hadn't seen one of you guys in a while. Why not? Why not see what you were made of? But you're flying around a consular cruiser. Yuck. That's like tobogganing down a hillside on Hoth in a bus. How can you stand it? That's not flying. That's a conductor on a grav train. How do you not lose your mind?
Because it's not actually my ship. You fly what you have to get the creds to get your own ship. And really, if you know the ship well enough, you can do things with it that other people wouldn't dream of.
Yeah, your Kairos, all right.
And besides, I took that bus to Osis and back.
To Osis?
Yep.
Where'd you get the glyphs? You didn't have the glyphs to go to Osis. Where'd you get the glyphs?
Funny thing, my boss actually had an old document that had glyphs.
And what's the old document now? Where's that at now? You didn't let one of the outsiders hang on to that, did you?
It's in my quarters. Going back to the elders as soon as I get some free time and a better ship.
Yeah. You're from that side. You're from that side of the family, all right. I have a ship I can give you. I don't need it anymore. The ruse had more effect on me than I thought it did. I got maybe 5-6 weeks. About 4 months ago, I started coughing up red shit. And it got worse every morning I woke up. Now I get coughing fits in the middle of the day sometimes. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, I can't breathe. I've seen people of the ruse choke to death. I've seen them look at their own chests and watch their own lungs disappear right underneath their skin. I'm not going out like that. But your clan. And I have a favor to ask of you. Yeah, that's right. Me, Hamza, the son of a bitch of the Kiros clan. I have a favor to ask of you. Find the truth. Please. They wouldn't believe me. The elders wouldn't believe me. Pushin set it all up. He set it all up. Because there was 2 of us who could go for an elder, and only 1 elder spot, and he wanted it. That's what it boils down to. The proof is there. The evidence is there. Start with those 2 discs. If ever you think the glyphs that cover most of my body, if ever you think that the tattoos that cover my cheekbones meant anything ever, promise me that you'll learn the truth. Swear it by the clan. And I will give you a ship. It's got no hyperdrive, but it's got everything else. I promise you, you will fly something decent again. I can't fly it anymore. I don't even have the strength to hold the control column straight anymore. I know it's a lot to ask, but there isn't anyone else. And there's no one else I would trust who's clan. I knew your mother. I trust the blood that runs in you from her. Please. What harm can it do just to look? I know I shouldn't have tried to lay that on you. I know what I'm asking you.
Yeah, you are theoretically maybe asking me possibly sort of risking getting chucked out if I bring this the wrong way. So,
Then you better bring it the right way. How smart are you? Vanny Kiros. Let's find out. He pulls his blaster, checks the power pack. I'll even make it easier for you. He just drops. And in his hand there's a combination of door lock and engine ignition key. Looks like almost like a big old-fashioned tin turnkey, but it's semi-electronic. It's on a long gilded chain wrapped around his wrist. It's a ship key.
I figured. Is there identification so I can actually find the ship?
Oh yeah. There's identification. There's some identification on him. You can use a data pad to take pictures of what's left of him. I mean, you don't have to claim the credit for having killed him, but you can certainly claim the credit for having found out what finally happened to him, if that's what you want to do. That'll get you some points with the clan. You didn't do anything. He killed himself. You didn't tell him he had to kill himself. You didn't force him to kill himself. Why shouldn't you be the person who gets at least the nominal kudos for having finally discovered the fucking guy?
We're probably going to have. I say all sorts of potentially bad things on his memory because he set it up in such a way that I cannot refuse the challenge of finding out what the fuck is going on.
It's the problem with you people being the smartest in the galaxy, you know.
And that he attempted me with a freaking ship. So yeah.
By the way,
totally-
much like an old pocket watch fob, there's the key, and then there's the chain. The chain's very nicely made. And at the end of the chain is almost like a dog tag medallion, and on it says the Diamond Jack.
Continue saying all
I
sorts.
say terrible things to your memory. I hope in heaven you shit your poopy pants, you.
Curse on you and your mother and your mother's mother.
I curse you.
So we got the Ruby Queen, the Diamond Jack. What's next? The Emerald King.
I've already had a conversation with the scheme.
Yeah.
I shall name my ship the Double Deuce.
No, it's
Two middle fingers.
it's gem and face card.
Two shitty little
Ace
middle
of Sapphires.
fingers.
I don't know.
Eventually, we'll end up with
Yeah, two.
something.
Ace is over the card that tells you how to play poker.
Bicycle
Well,
Publishing Company.
We're going to do that, but we should go along with like Sabak cards instead, you know.
That would require somebody to actually look up.
Nobody knows how Sabak cards work, so I don't even know what you're. You know, I don't know how we would do that. So anyway, she emerges from a you know, pokes her head out from the maintenance hatch.
Why'd you leave your
Yeah, you poke your head out and they're all there like foom.
I don't know. I think we're still staring down the hallway.
Oh, it doesn't take long because he gets there and he's like, she went that way. So they're like big game hunter and again Fleinsman, hey.
Finding things not an issue for most part.
So yeah, stick your head out.
How the fuck do you tell? No, she totally went that way.
Right. Emergency over, guys.
It sounded a lot more than an emergency.
No, everything's fine. Just let me shake the brains off this blast.
Who was that guy? You smell
What's that
death.
guy? Ex-family. Very ex at this point.
Oh. Okay then. Wait, is that a key fob?
Yeah.
Nice. came out unscathed, and you got a key fob. Is it two something?
Yeah.
Ceremonial feast.
Come, want to come take a look at the ship this is connected to?
Yes, yes, I would.
Excuse me. Isn't there a Verpine baby hive mother we have to rescue from the clutches of ...
I'm going.
He's going. I'm going with him because the gods only know what he'll get into.
Oh yeah.
And you're holding on to a piece of the Verpine baby hive mother, right?
Yes, I'll get it back.
Yeah.
Okay then, I guess.
So I'm calling Jotano because she's going to want that piece stuck on the way it was born.
Okay, we're all going to look. Then I guess we can look at the ship later. It should keep.
Ship's not going anywhere at this.
No,
Stow
you have the
this.
key. It ain't going anywhere.
Shouldn't we stow the package first?
Who's the package?
He's
A
carrying.
large
I
amount of
look
money.
fucking.
Oh, yeah, that's right, boys. We're in the money. We are going to get a new ship. But first,
We already did.
what's that?
We already did.
No, we're
Another.
going to get shipped like crazy. All sorts of shipping.
Shit-faced.
Shaped up and shaped up.
That's right, Naruto Shippuden.
Don't tell me the ship is called Naruto ship. I don't want to play this campaign anymore.
What's the
Building
name?
a
What's the
fleet
name? What's the
army.
name of that animated? That anime that has the Gumma Gumma strike, and the reindeer that can turn into the anthropomorphic giant reindeer. Oh God, half something.
This isn't just a fever dream for when we had scarlet fever back in 1900.
Oh shit.
One Piece.
One Piece.
One Piece.
That's One Piece.
It's One Piece.
I guess I don't know how to love the One Piece. Anyway,
Oh, I should knock you senseless. You know, yeah, I really should. If I didn't think it'd be an overall improvement.
I turned to Dubaka. So let me get this straight. There's a broken droid and an antenna. and
The
some
broken
seeds.
droid is still around, by the way. It's following him around.
Poor bastard.
My droids.
Do you think Doki could do something with him?
Sure, Doki and Sassoon could probably fix this thing up nice.
Well, he's just
I cannot leave until we have recovered my mistress. I cannot.
You are an anchor. We need to get you somewhere where we can help you.
In the way, pretty much.
Oh, terrible besetness. Oh.
Where's that restraining bolt?
I got a restraining bolt right here for you.
Who the hell are you kidding? You can't even shoot that thing straight. Folks, you better hurry up and make some checks and get some bonuses, some boost dice to give him so he can hit something other than himself.
I hit myself? When did I hit myself?
Shh. Silence you.
Sorry about that.
Did I get a despair roll or a gun check that I missed?
That's right. It was a terrible. You suffered terrible despair from your general feelings of ennui.
Right.
It is now universally acknowledged as a truth that Salem can't shoot.
I shoot myself to feed.
Wait, listen.
Alright. Somebody drag the droid back to the ship.
No, I can't. No, please. She will be afraid if she does not see me. She will not know who you are.
Yeah, he's got a point there.
Fine, let's go.
Piece of
Here, look. We came bearing a chunk of your droid. Do you trust us? How do you like us now?
We wear him as a
Right,
trophy.
I'm not good at this friend thing.
Wookiee, giant gold chain, top of an R2 unit.
Yeah, boy. Y'all know we can do this.
Right. Back to the corridor or wherever in the direction that she was taken.
Oh. That way.
Was she dragged or was she...
She was dragged.
Stop for a second, Meryl. This is a finding.
It's the finding. It's a sacred finding.
Off we go.
She's in pain. which is verpine, and she's in pain. Ah, the verpine. Wise people, the verpine. They know the value of new eatings.
Yeah, much more attractive than these fleshy things.
That's right. Only 2 eyes. Come on.
You see those bags of goo.
That's right.
They're not protected.
How do you breathe through that thing sticking out of your pants? So, it doesn't take very long for you to head into one of the lower level, low rental apartment housing. Yeah, welcome to Vanier, kids.
I don't like this place.
As you look down the hall, there were 2 Aqualish thugs. The snaggletooth people. 2 Aqualish, well, no, the walrusy people. Standing on either side of a door with their arms folded.
Well, I'm not exactly trying to hide, so.
No. Who's hiding?
It's a nice shot, though. Nice, long, straight corridor. Nobody else in the corridor
They're
but them.
standing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, nice
a
shot.
two for one.
Go ahead, take the shot.
Oh yeah.
It's a medium range band, though, because you're looking. It's like, no, don't. Allahu Akbar.
I don't even know who these people are.
That's
They're Aqualush. They deserve it.
We popped a couple of Aqualish. Well,
They're generic.
they get medals for that alone.
What?
Not Aqualush. Hey, Aqualush.
You sure they
You
aren't
think
that
the
awesome?
Imperials are going to care when aliens are killing aliens? What the fuck do they give a shit about?
Don't kill any humans, and that's fine. Hey, Aqualush.
Difficulty.
Brains running down your face.
This is about as easy a shot as you can get. Head and
Medium
profile,
difficulty.
Yeah, I'll give you.
non-moving target.
I think at this range, it's a 2 purple. And they're just sitting there quietly doing that strange to each other.
He doesn't like you. I don't like you either. You don't even know me! No, that's fair. That's fair.
Hi, my name's Bob. I didn't like you.
Those are mine.
Yes.
Survey says.
2 advantage.
That's it?
Yeah, no success.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Our sniper on the team
Whoops.
just missed the easy shot of his life.
I know, because my dice are terrible.
Why don't you use the dice roller? Why are you guys using analog dice? Oh, I don't even know. She explained. That's fine. All right. Well, 2 advantages. I don't know what to do with that.
They don't notice.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Got fire.
There's an explosion about 50 yards down the hall in the direction.
What?
Yeah, they're all like. Marrow looks at you. I ought to fire your ass. I ought to straight up fire your ass.
That is a fireball.
You have one job in this team, and that's to shoot people in the head. That's your job. That's why I keep you around. It's not like you're a good cook.
No. No, no.
Try it again. That's the trouble with you people. You get a little bit of money, and all of a sudden you get all wrinkly.
Aim as well.
You weren't aiming before?
Sloppy.
You were just going to freehand it?
There, 2 success.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Shoot from the hip with a sniper rifle. Come on, man.
Not when he's got all the time in the world to line up a shot. He's not shooting from the hip.
But it's more fun that way. Stop doing it! Aim properly!
I want it to be sexy. Just like the Wookiee. So one Aqualicious head just goes... God.
I think he noticed that one.
The other just like a...
Right then. Sally forth.
So, he's banging on the door, shaking the door handle. He's like, he looks at you and then he starts fiddling with his blaster. The top half of him falls right off the balcony. All you hear is doosh, doosh. Hey! Oh! I know that! Shut
What the hell are
up.
they doing up there?
Listen, your rough mating rituals are to be kept on your own floor. You want to have wild Rhodian sex, that's your business. So you hear this, you hear this noise going. It opens up the door, and then you're sort of standing there covered in Aqualish blood. He tries to close the door, but has a terrible case of axe to the head. Throws out, and then there's like big purple form. The herd are like, oh, he's big. Oh, he's a big, big boy. He's got like a spiked ball and a chain. He'll get no use out of that in these close quarters. There's no way. But if this was out in the open, you'd be like, I'm not fighting this guy. You don't pay me enough. What do you want? Well, we like the girl. That one, no, not the Twi'lek. She's nice, but how many you got in there? We're here for the Verpine. The droid. She's got a thing for the... Give us the Verpine, we'll go our own way. Looks at you for a minute. Oh, maybe not.
It is big. I must fight it.
I know you. You are Dubaka, bringer of steel and doom, scourge of the Geonosian pits. Yes. You fight good. 17-time champion on Alistair. Oh yeah, you know this guy. You this thing. He grabbed your head and went. That's his finishing move. Crowd goes nuts for that. All the Dougs go crazy. 20 out of 30 Dougs agree. Squishy head is great finishing move. Good. Why are you here? You are here to liberate the others, aren't you? You are a Wookiee. Wookiees do not take to slavery. They will not be slaves. The Hive Mother will be an honored guest of the Zahn Consortium. Yeah.
Zahn's operating here?
The Zahn operates in a lot of places.
I guess it's shadowy enough to...
The Zahns are here. If you look hard enough, you'll find Black Sun. If you look hard enough, you'll find the Hutts.
No, you're right. It's more the fact that they don't have... they're not going to have stalls set up saying, "Come, join the Zahn!" Because they don't
Pledge
have
drive. I'll rush.
they don't have that much
Rush the
control
frat
here.
house.
I was looking at him straight in the eye and be like, that's what all the slavers used to call me.
There is wisdom in your words, Wookiee. I cannot simply give them over to you. They have taken my family. If I do not do as they say, if I do not protect their interests, they will kill my family. What can I do, champion? What would you do if you were me?
Let the verpin go and tell me where your family is.
To be clear, what do you intend to do for my family? And do you swear to it?
Be free.
I will let the verpine go. But you must do one more thing for me. It must look as though this was a fight, and it was a terrible fight. You must wound me. Badly enough to be convincing, but not badly enough to kill me. I would like to see my family again someday. He closes his eyes. Just like that, like he doesn't even know you, but he knows your reputation, and that's good enough for him.
Pick a spot where he's going to be laid up for a few weeks.
You pick just here. You open up his jaw, all the way down here, skipping a couple arteries. Down here, open up his pec fucking wide, like, oh look, it's a lung.
I can see lung through that rib.
Cut a few ribs open, all the way out. You fucked him up good. So then you did exactly what he asked you to do. That's a good thing. It's a good, and I'm really glad I'm not going to make you roll for that, because with my luck, to despair took his fucking head right off. What? Is that convincing enough for you? Boy, I'll bet they'll be convinced like a motherfucker.
Probably unlikely that I would miss, but
Listen, with these dice, I don't even know.
Yeah, this guy just missed out.
Yeah, like
So you line it up the shot, somebody walks up, hey, what you doing? Son of a bitch.
it's like I got this one breath for the day. You want a pastry, huh? Door-to-door beer sale. Was that now? Shit!
You know,
I shot the hurgly.
this is Gooper assholes just sitting there jostling the elbow. Tick, shot.
Now, because he's the only person left guarding the rest of the guests, when you open the door, there's like some Twi'leks and a couple of Rhodians, and they're all like,
What do we do with them? I'd send them back to the Republic, but that doesn't exist anymore.
"Why do you send them back to the Republic? It wasn't the Empire that took them."
No, but I don't
There's
know
the
if the Empire's
Zan.
going to deal with them. That's the problem. The Republic could.
Marrow reaches into his pocket. Come here. Come here. And the Twi'lek makes a number of hand motions that says, no, thank you, please. I don't want your money for sex. Somebody help me. Listen,
You don't want that.
I'm giving you this money, and you run away. He just eventually just reaches over, lifts her up, kicking and all, tucks the money in her belt, shoves her out the door. Does this with all the rest of them. And the verpine is all like just screeching and tittering, and she's a mess. Oh, I don't even know.
Where's the R2 unit?
The R2 unit comes over, but the R2 unit tries to help, but it can't even get its mistress's attention.
Do we have a gurney?
Nope, we're going to make use of one of these beds. Give us a hand, would you? 1, 2, 3. Cover her up with some blankets. And there's a long, slow walk to the Ruby Queen. And after about an hour, including 20 minutes on public transit, because there are a number of light rail
Tubes.
trains and stuff, yeah. where, you know, people are just sort of looking at you while the verpine is screeching out this, that, and the other.
Good old Stunson.
It's like the slow
No,
walking.
what's the matter with
I'm
you?
a blaster anyways. You don't need one bullet to the
That's
head.
right. It's right. One bolt. Fine. We'll put that antenna back on. Perfect.
It's not suffering anymore.
Oh, you
So-
want found alive.
Yeah.
Shit. You can be clear about
Anybody
these
who starts
things.
to look like they're gonna get up, he just gets a very long stare from me.
So after about an hour or so's travel, you are in the sick sick bay of the Ruby Queen, and being thoroughly scowled at by Jotano.
What have you brought into my...
What in the name of the gods of Mandalore is this? What have you brought me? It's a patient. You want to fix it? It's kind of what we pay you for. And it gets cold in the room all of a sudden. Hold her down. I see it. Hold her down.
Somebody handed the antenna.
Hold her down. And she's thrashing her head back and, oh, it's her antenna. She's had her antenna damaged. She's suffering from discordant sensory inputs on a number of... I don't suppose you had... Any of you managed to find the antenna? May I?
Yeah.
You can let her go. She wanders over to some scanning equipment. I don't have the right gear for this, but I suspect even if I did, the nerve endings are too degraded to reattach directly. I'd have to build her a brand new prosthesis, and that's something I'm going to have to liaise with Sassoon for. She can, I think, be restored mostly to what she was before, if we do this right. Some of the last independent studies I did when I was still at the medical academy covered stuff like this, particularly replacing vital antennae and proboscis and that sort of thing, and some of the cybernetic and clone work. If we had working clone vats, we could just clone a new one like that. I don't mean a new verpine, I mean a new antenna. We could just pop it right out at the socket. Just put a new one in. They're surprisingly modular, you know. But it'll have to be a cybernetic repair of some kind. But we can do it. Take a little bit of time, a little bit of money, but it can be done. The trick is going to get her to getting her to calm down, to eat, to sleep, to take fluids, because of her panicked state. She's not inclined to do that on her own.
How can we get the R2 unit up and running?
R2 units aren't exactly mine. What R2 unit?
The one
This is when
that's the only
Sassoon-
reason that,
This is when Sassoon sort of heaves into view. What were you saying, Angela?
I think the R2 unit's the only reason that we got involved with her. He tripped over it.
Sassoon sort of half heaves into view, and he looks down at the R2 unit. Half a day, maybe two. All right, these are 2 units. What did you say your name was? Rainbow. These are 2 units that are unbelievably resilient. Most of what's wrong with it we could fix with parts out of stores. The rest is just a question of tinkering and welding. I must admit I'm much more intrigued with the idea of creating a cybernetic replacement for the verpine's lost antenna.
It would have to be highly sensitive and highly precise.
It would be an excellent challenge. I would very much look forward to working on it. As a matter of fact, I'd throw some of my own money into it. Very intrigued by the challenge.
Sounds like everybody. You guys have it well in hand, so maybe those of us who would be more hindrance than help should leave you to it. And I take a couple steps back.
That's pretty wise advice. Come on, you. Come on, you. Definitely come on, you. And you, and you. And that's when Doki sort of sneaks in under people's legs and stuff. And he peeks up over the table. And the Verpine sort of half turns and looks at him. And he looks at the Verpine. Oh. Oh, da-da-da. Oh. Oh. And he runs out of the room. And he runs back in the room and he's got a plushie that looks like a Jawa. And it's a raggedy thing. It looks like it's never been washed. And he said, puts it on the bed. And then watches the plushie and watches her. Watches the plushie, watches her. Watches the plushie, watches her. And then he runs out. And he comes running back and he's got another plushie. But this one has a slightly different coloration scheme, a little bit different bandana placement and stuff. And he puts that down beside the first plushie. Itu baka? What is that? And the Verpine is just quietly looking at this weird little creature who's putting strange collections of rags in front of him.
I've never perceived Doki as a calming influence.
If it works, don't mess with it. Besides, I have a ship to look at.
Jatana says, I'm inclined to agree. He seems to be good for her. I'm hoping that if he can calm her down enough to stare at stuffed animals, he might be able to calm her down enough to take fluids and food. But Merrill and Vani are correct. Anyone who can't directly assist me, get out.
Let's go see that ship of yours. I'm interested.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anybody who's interested in seeing what the Diamond Jack looks like, you get there and you see someone who works for the Center Point Station Administration, which is not, they're not Imperial, they're not anybody.
Right.
Center
their
Point is
actual administration of running this station.
And
They got their own uniforms and everything.
there's a Celestin holding a giant data pad, the kind of data pad that's used for fixing accounts. And then there's a human there. And the Celestin turns around, and the first person he sees is you.
Take a few more steps forward and actually
Okay.
pull out the key wind a couple of lengths around so you can see the key.
Says the human. And the Celestin is going on about his baboos, eh? Baboo here, baboo there. Apparently your former kinsman paid some money in docking fees.
Well, of course.
Right. Well, I guess we'd better take a look at this account.
Holy baboo. That's about $6,000 worth of docking fees.
Right. About how long has he actually been docked here for?
Well, as you can see, we charge about 10 credits a day, so he's been here for a while.
You see the giant number go down slightly.
Oh, okay. He prints you out a plastic receipt chip. Thank you very much. He gets excited sometimes when there's a lot of fees left over.
But we're good now?
Simple.
Good.
And they leave. They leave you alone with the ship. And you're looking at this thing, and you're wondering where the heck it came from, because you've never seen a configuration like this before. It has elements that are similar to. It has elements that are similar to certain Corellian designs, but new one? Oh god, the rubber feet are gonna fall off.
What the fuck?
Well, I'm stuck all the way over here.
Looks kind of like an A-wing.
Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't.
In the shape-wise, yes.
No.
Doesn't it?
It doesn't. Easy now. Easy boy.
And down.
All right. Now I'm curious.
Doesn't look anything like an A-wing. What do you want about it? Looks like an A-wing. You look like an A-wing.
Mom was an A-wing.
I can, sort of. Not really.
Oh no, you don't even.
No, it's too big. It's too chunky. It's way too chunky to be in
It's basically a really souped up runabout. It's got no hyperdrive engines, but those sublight engines are kick-ass.
So it's got a top.
Those sublight engines are going to push hard.
It's got a top turret. Does it have anything else?
No, but that's easily fixed because that top turret's a universal mount, so you can pretty much put whatever you want on there, short of a turbo laser.
Sweet.
It'll easily hold.
Quad linked.
You take a look. You take a look inside, and you can see that it'll easily hold a dozen people comfortably.
Nice.
Plus cargo space. Plus space for a couple of speed.
Now we all need matching armor, and we can all be Mandalorians.
There are many things here that I'm not sure of their value, and if I threw them at you, AJ would be angry at me, but only for a little while.
I'm willing to take that.
Now this here belongs to me, and I know if I threw it at you, AJ wouldn't give a shit.
It depends on whether or not you knocked something.
I'll hit
out,
him.
down
No,
on the
I'll
other
hit
side.
him. His big old potato head, I'll hit him. I can see that shit from here. So that is the Diamond Jack.
Yeah.
Oh.
First impression. That's what it looked like.
And I assume it's going to fit in the hold of the.
No,
No.
that's the other problem.
We're going to mount it.
Glue it to the side.
That's right.
Get that heavy duty epoxy out.
Well, we could attach clamps to the underside of the Ruby Queen.
Jesus Christ. And then
then-
forget that that's
and
there
then-
and
yeah.
accidentally land the Ruby
Yeah,
Queen
you
on
cried.
the fucking thing.
Don't put that on the bottom. If you put it anywhere, it's going on the top.
So Kevin is standing there looking at the ship. And he's looking at you. Let's go talk to the Verpine. Not the one that we have lying, flailing around, the poor darn thing.
Right, you're talking about.
The Verpine.
Yeah.
The hive mother's mommy. Because it's about time, I think, that we gave the original Ruby Queen a bit of an upgrade. Now, I'm not suggesting that we trade on the fact that we saved the hive daughter. They may not even care. At the very least, though, Verpine built ships, and the fact that we've got a hold of one means there's more around someplace. We may, at the very least, get them to build us a ship that they won't immediately tell the Empire about. What do you think of that?
That's a good idea.
I'm very much interested in getting to know people who can build custom ships.
Alright. So I say we stay aboard the station for a little while longer. Wait a minute. No, we swindled the Empire here at the station. We should probably find somewhere else to go. And it's unlikely the Verpine will be using this station as a shipyard anyway. There's no point really staying here. The only problem, unfortunately, is going to be getting the Diamond Jack out. Well, to tell you the truth, we could just keep birthing the Diamond Jack here. I know it's brand new and it's all yours and you'd like to play with it, but if there's nowhere to put it on the Ruby Queen, unless we buy it a hyperdrive sled, but I can't imagine you'd want to spend a lot of time in this ship. It doesn't look like it was built for a long haul. It looks like a runabout or a pinnace of some kind.
You could ship it by freight. I don't know how that would help us though.
FedEx a ship. You open up the box, there's a bunch of styrofoam popcorns. Of course, this is the Star Wars galaxy, so the styrofoam popcorns are actually little aliens. They come in. They sing.
We lost your ship.
That's right. We gave your ship to your neighbor, and there's fuck all that you can do about it. We hope your neighbor is honest, but if your neighbor's not honest, then you're fucked.
We could hire another pilot temporarily.
To touch her ship. Have you met her?
A ship, not a fleet.
We could rent or temporarily lease a hyperspace ring, like the Jedi used to use for their old fighters back in the Clone Wars. It's a temporary docking ring that would grant hyperdrive capability, and then I guess if you wanted to have a sleep while you were waiting for the ship to go from point A to point B, you just rack out amongst the seats in the back, I guess. But we didn't completely look through it. There might be a little cabin there. Who knows?
I'm sure it is.
Ultimately, it's your ship, and it's up to you.
First off, I'm going to have a completely thorough look.
We are leaving this place, whatever happens, in 6 hours maximum. I don't want to be here any longer than that, because if that Imperial thinks he got his pants pulled down in any way, shape, or form, or if the elation of having gotten a whole bunch of money and then handing it over to somebody else is worn off, I don't want to be here. I also don't want the station personnel to start asking questions about you and a conversation you had with a now dead member of your clan someplace.
Which case, I'm very much inclined to whatever short-term solution will get this ship out of here so we don't have to come back.
That's fair enough.
We can sort out what we're doing with it long-term.
I'm suggesting a pilot for the Ruby Queen down in Shack.
Well, they both are ships, so
But the Ruby Queen is yours.
it technically belongs to me, but you should see what happens if I try to get in the pilot's chair. I get a look, and then I get another look, and then I get still another look. I can't
And then
go-
she asked me if I'm supposed to use the hyperdrive and the
And then I get-
star map.
And then I get the quiz. You know what this button's for? No. Why are you sitting in the pilot's chair then? Do you know what this lever does? No. Then why are you sitting in the pilot's chair?
She can't be in two seats at once.
Yes, she can. She's the pilot. Oh, you mean while she's flying the Diamond Jack? Oh, I don't ask questions. Why do you always force me to ask questions? Why can't you be a stoic Wookiee? Force me to ask questions all the time. Yeah, he rubs his head. All right. So, it's a plan. Let's sort everything else. Sort everything out here we're going to get. Let's get some fresh supplies, some fresh food, some blankets, some textiles, some medical supplies. Get everything that we can possibly get. And then, no later than 6 hours from now, we are gone. I will leave it up to you to rent a hyperspace bolt-on sled, or lease, or buy. Don't spend too much of your money. Most of the money will remain with me anyway, just so that, you know, we haven't accidentally bought a harem on some planet somewhere when what we really need is a ship. Matter of fact, give that here. I do not like the way your face lit up when I said harem. I think I'll let that go for now, and
should be enough, but right?
I'll give everybody a lovely total of 15 experience points. Woo! And
Ding, 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 ding.